This module is about engaging young people and the community in planning your events. Youth participation is key to the way Headspace runs events. It's important you involve your youth reference group with the planning of any events. It's also important to find ways to involve your community in the planning as well.
So sometimes when we're, as Headspace, we're asked just to come to an event and be Headspace at an event, whether that's at a school or a community. And one thing that we're always trying to do is just think of simple ways for young people to come over and maybe that's approach our table and check us out, maybe take something away, maybe not. One thing and one mindset that I try and come across as, and I try and tell all of our youth reference group members, is when we're at an event, we're not there to spruik and we're not there to sell. A lot of the time we're just there to be. A lot of young people, if you push them into come talk to us, and if you walk through a shopping centre and somebody tries to hand you something, you're going to be repelled straight away. So a lot of the time, if we can be there, we can be organic. We bring a youth reference group member with us. We have some games out. We have something that a young person can do. It's going to be a lot more organic, and it's even if they don't come up to us and grab a whole bunch of flyers, they might remember that they saw us there. They might remember that some dude was in bright green. I'm pretty sure that was Headspace, and he was alright. So sometimes that's really important as well. It's just about planting that seed.
When organising an event, one of the valuable resources that we have is the youth reference group, so I always use that as my first port of call, but also knowing that they've got their networks as well. So they're the first people to go, oh, this is something that's going to work, or this is something that needs to be tweaked, or you're not going to reach the target audience by having an event at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Like the youth reference group, because they're a really valuable resource and they're involved in the Headspace Centre because of their expertise, so it's important that you plan an event around what they think will work and not work. So that comes around to, if you develop an event and what time and what day of the week that's going to be on, that's really valuable stuff, because you want to know that people are going to rock up to the event and they're available and all that stuff. So they might remind you of going, oh, you don't do it on that time, that's school holidays, and you're like, oh, that's a good point, they might be away, or that could be a good point depending what activity you're doing. Let's do a school holiday program and all that stuff. So I think it's always making sure that you have those open and honest discussions and not going in blindly and going, I think this is going to be great if it's out this time and day, and the venue and accessibility. So you might need to make sure that people have got access to public transport or all that stuff.
We engage young people with different events in different ways. So a lot of our larger events are put on by our youth advisory committee, so they're very much planned from the very beginning by them. In terms of smaller workshops and presentations, sometimes there's the opportunity to have one of our young people from our YAC come and speak at those, so that's really nice to have them there, or support those events in other ways. Once I've got a relationship with a school as well, it's much easier to engage with students there and find out what they want to find out more about. So finding out any issues or any particular topics that they want more information on, or they want me to come and talk about, can be really helpful as well.